येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So Sukadeva Goswami is now starting to describe the glories of Bhagavatam, the glories of devotional service, the glories of chanting of the holy name, the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. Etan nirvidyamananam ichtam akuto bhayam yoginam nripa nirnitam harer namanukirtanam. Etan nirvidyamananam ichtam akuto bhayam yoginam nripa nirnitam harer namanukirtanam. Etan nirvidyamananam ichtam akuto bhayam yoginam nripa nirnitam harer namanukirtanam. What word, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Etat, it is nirvidyamananam, of those who are completely free from all material desires. Ichatam, of those who are desirous of all sorts of material enjoyment. Akutah bhayam, free from all doubts and fear. Yoginam, of all who are self-satisfied. Nripa, O king. Nirnitam, decided truth. Harehe, of the Lord Shri Krishna. Nama, holy name. Anu, after someone, always. Kirtanam, chanting. Translation. O king, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord after the ways of the great authorities is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from all material desires, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, and also those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge. Purport. Please hear very carefully. It's a long purport, so we will try to unpack it, probably, I guess, paragraph-wise, but let's see how we go. And if we do not complete today, then I think Sneha or Sanatan has to continue with the purport again tomorrow. Let's see how we go. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In the previous verse, the great necessity for attaining attachment to Mukunda has been accredited. There are different types of persons who desire to attain success in different varieties of pursuits. Generally, the persons are materialists who desire to enjoy the fullest extent of material gratification. Next to them are the transcendentalists who have attained perfect knowledge about the nature of material enjoyment and thus are aloof from such an illusory way of life. More or less, they are satisfied in themselves by self-realization. Above them are the devotees of the Lord who neither aspire to enjoy the material world nor desire to get out of it. They are after the satisfaction of the Lord, Shri Krishna. In other words, the devotees of the Lord do not want anything on their personal account. If the Lord desires, the devotees can accept all sorts of material facilities, and if the Lord does not desire this, the devotees can leave aside all sorts of facilities, even up to the limit of salvation. Nor are they self-satisfied because they want the satisfaction of the Lord only. Very interesting. Nor are they self-satisfied because they want the satisfaction of the Lord only. In this verse, Sri Sukadeva Goswami recommends the transcendental chanting of the holy name of the Lord. By offenseless chanting and hearing of the holy name of the Lord, one becomes acquainted with the transcendental form of the Lord, and then with the attributes of the Lord, and then with the transcendental nature of his pastimes, etc. Here it is mentioned that one should constantly chant the holy name of the Lord after hearing it from authorities. This means that hearing from the authorities is the first essential. Hearing of the holy name gradually promotes one to the stage of hearing about his form, his attributes, his pastimes, and so on. And thus the necessity of the chanting of his glories develops successively. This process is recommended not only for the successful execution of devotional service, but also even for those who are materially attached. According to Sri Sukadeva Goswami, this way of attaining success is an established fact, concluded not only by him, but also by all other previous acharyas. Therefore, there is no need of further evidence. The process is recommended not only for the progressive students in different departments of ideological success, but also for those who are already successful in their achievement as fruity workers, as philosophers, or as devotees of the Lord. So as I said, it's a very long purport. Still, Prabhupada continues with the chanting of the holy name, then the 10 offenses, and he describes in detail the 10 offenses. So this first paragraph itself actually is a paragraph for our meditation. We can actually use our intellect here and also our heart here to understand the process and accept the process. Prabhupada says here, yes, there are different types of people. And first of all, we should identify, okay, what is my proclivity? Am I just a karmi or a yogi or a jnani? Whatever I am, do I want to become a devotee of the Lord? Here we can see, I'm going to digress a little bit and then I'm going to come back on this purport. So please excuse me for that, because it's very important that we understand, again, in continuation of yesterday's wonderful Vyas Puja Mahotsava, when Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami says here that constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord after the ways of the great authorities. So we, when we sing our Prema Dhwani, our Jaya Dhwani, we always say Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrind Ki Jai. And when anytime I hear this Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrind Ki Jai, before the next one is spoken, I immediately, in my heart, I always say Vaishnava Shrestha Prabhupada Ki Jai. Because Prabhupada is the Vaishnava Shrestha. He is the greatest authority as far as we are concerned. We are supposed to follow the path of the 12 Mahajans. 12 Mahajans were very compassionate. 12 Mahajans, as enumerated by Yamaraj to Yamadutas in the 6th canto of Srīmad Bhāgavatam. These Mahajans are very compassionate, but Prabhupada is the sum total of compassion of all these Mahajans. So if we follow in the footsteps of Prabhupada, we will definitely get a little drop of compassion from Prabhupada. Yesterday, Viraj Krishna Prabhu, he thanked Prabhupada for so many things. And I thought in continuing today, I should also thank, like devotees like Keshav Priya Prabhu, Vraj Kishori Mataji. I mean, I can glorify them separately, but together also, besides working, besides, raising a wonderful family, they've been preaching for so many years, 3-4 times in a week, and they go out. One time I remember Keshav Priya Prabhu goes to Mango Hill, and he has been going there for quite some time. And one time he invited all the devotees from Mango Hill to his place. And first time they realized that actually Prabhu travels almost 1 hour, week after week after week, to touch their hearts, to give them Krishna consciousness. We have Rahul Prabhu, who comes from Alexandra Hills. If wherever there is Harinam, he travels 45-50 minutes, 1 hour to distribute books, whether there are 5 people or 15 people. He will come religiously and come there and is committed devotee to distribute books. So he will go to the temple, pick up the books, come there. And, we can see that seeing devotees like that, devotees like Sri Radha Maharani also are sort of empowered and enthused. In Eka Harinam, we saw, so many books went out. We were just few of us. We have Sundari Sita Mata, yesterday I was speaking to her and I was telling her that, if you see the program on the Janmashtami day started from 5 o'clock and it went on till about, the cultural programs went on till about 9:30. So for 4.5 hours to fill up the gaps every 15, 20 minutes and to coordinate the entire program, to coordinate so many devotees, it takes weeks and months of planning. And besides taking care of again the family, and I can I take liberty of saying that she's a very good cook and she takes care of the family in a very nice, by providing nice, wholesome prasadam, very, very healthy prasadam, maybe 3 or 4 times a day. And this is a secret coming out, Sundari Sita Mataji, so please forgive me for that. It takes a lot of effort. Then we have, Arti Priya Mataji, Sundarani Mataji, the two sisters. They take care of the devotee care and the book distribution. We have Yamuna Sundari. We have to thank Yamuna Sundari, Deepak Prabhu, Angana Mataji, Milka, Vraj Deepika, and all of them for the decoration, for organizing the festivals, for the children's program. Shanti Rupa Mataji and Purna Kushal Mataji for anytime there's any gap to be filled, they are there. For Sunday feast, they've been cooking so regularly. Many times, people, devotees who don't come for Sunday feast, they don't know what's happening here. But they are following Anukirtanam. They're following in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. Please forgive me if I've missed out anyone. That was not my intention. Basically, my intention was to thank devotees. We have Paul Prabhu and Rowena coming, Yashoda Dular Prabhu, Lakshmi Mataji coming all the way from Maclay Islands. And, they're helping us in cooking all the time. They're helping us in upkeep of the lawns, upkeep of the, facilities. They did wonderful service of the, taking care of the 108 steps in chanting of the holy names in Janmashtami festival. Almost 500 new people came and they took the chanting away with them. This is such a blessing we can understand, such a blessing we have. Narad Rishi Prabhu was telling me that he was going back to his car on Janmashtami day. It was a little walk, about 500 meters. And he saw a couple of families just walking towards their car together with just in front of him. And they were all chanting and dancing, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So this is the effect of what we do. We touch people's hearts. Again, Krishna in the center. So Prabhupada says here, if you understand our position here, that whether we are a karmi, a yogi, or a jnani, we should try to become a devotee. And Prabhupada, gives us a very simple formula here. As I said, the devotees are not self-satisfied because they want the satisfaction of the Lord. And how can the Lord be satisfied? When we give Krishna to ourselves and to one and all. And you can see over the last 2.5, 3 years, so much progress has been made. So many hearts have been touched. So many regular people have been coming. They're studying Srimad Bhagavatam. They're buying books. And here Prabhupada says that yes, we don't want our own satisfaction. We want the satisfaction of the Lord. But then the side effect is that because Lord is satisfied, we being the part and parcel of the Lord, we will be satisfied. We'll be happy. I have a formula. After all these big festivals, we are physically tired, but spiritually surcharged. So this is what's happening. We are all spiritually surcharged. Here we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. Whether we Mataji will be thinking, okay, who's going to give next Saturday feast class? I was speaking to Rasa Mandal at 10:30, 11 o'clock on Janmashtami day in the night. And I said, Sasa, how's it going? He said, I'm thinking of Diwali already. So he's thinking of the next big festival. Okay, how do we do bigger and better? More people can come and they can get the benefit. Gaur Prem would be thinking, okay, I have to buy bhoga for next Saturday. Who's going to cook for next Saturday? If there's a replacement to be required. All these things, devotees, they are following in the footsteps of Anukirtanam, following in the footsteps of the great authority. So this way, Ramanuj Prabhu, Swaha Mataji, every one of them, in their own ways. So much amazing festivals are being put up. And next Saturday, you see, even if 150 people will be there, there'll be joy there, there'll be happiness there, because Krishna is in the center. We want to be Krishna conscious and give Krishna consciousness to others. I've quoted this nice quote before, which says, we might not have it all together. That means we might not have it everything, we might not have all the qualities, but all together we have it all. But all together we have it all. So when we work as a community of devotees like this, we will have everything. Prabhupada will give the facility. And yes, Gaur Prem just writes to me that I have to also thank Amarendra Krishna Prabhu and Krishna Rolya Mataji. Amarendra Prabhu is also one of the managing team members of the festival. So thank you, Prabhu, for doing this wonderful service, even when you are living so far away. Krishna Rolya is, of course, a wonderful cook and a great heart she has got. Anytime you ask her to cook something, she's always ready. So we are the devotees following in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada says here, the Sukadeva Goswami recommends the transcendental chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Yes, when we chant every morning, we get up every morning, chant our rounds, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and then Prabhupada speaks about offenseless chanting and hearing of the holy name of the Lord. And Prabhupada says, yes, we should use our mind and heart both into chanting. When we meditate on the meaning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When we meditate on this, Prabhupada says, O my Lord, Krishna, O energy of the Lord, Srimati Radharani, please accept me and please engage me in your service. This way, we are using our mind in chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And then Prabhupada says, how do you chant with your heart? Prabhupada says, chanting of the holy name of the Lord is like crying of the child for the mother. So the child, when he's crying for the mother, doesn't use any intellect. It's just natural, it's just spontaneous. So when we chant this way very nicely with our hearts, with paying full attention, then we are using our hearts also. So when we use our mind and the hearts in chanting of the holy name, we come to the offenseless chanting. And then, of course, every morning program, we recite the 10 offenses against the chanting of the holy name. Prabhupada is giving like a brief description of those 10 offenses. We must, read this purport very carefully. At the same time, there's a nice book called Srinamamrita. Srinamamrita is a book where Prabhupada is, the quotes on the holy name from all the Prabhupada's books are being compiled. So, again, every morning for the morning program, we read that one of the verses from Namamrita. Meditate on the holy name according to the description given in Sri Namamrita, and then we chant our holy names. Yes. So this way, when we chant constantly, what happens then? When we chant, of course, as we know, like when chanting the holy name is like spending time with Krishna. This is our personal time with Krishna. If we do not progress in our spiritual life, if we do not contemplate, if we do not introspect, what happens is 2, 5, 10 years we'll be chanting and we'll be spending time with someone, a personality like Krishna, but then we will not know anything about that personality. So it's very important that when we chant attentively, and then Prabhupada says, by offenseless chanting and hearing of the holy name of the Lord, one becomes acquainted with the transcendental form of the Lord. We can understand, yes, this is Krishna's form. It is completely spiritual. One time when one person in Mumbai asked Prabhupada, you're speaking about Krishna so much. Do you know how Krishna looks like? Prabhupada said, yes, I know what Krishna looks like. And then Prabhupada quoted the words from Brahma Samhita, Venum Panantam Arvinda Dalayataaksham Bhāgavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That Krishna is holding the Venu, is a blackish, bluish black boy, bent in 3 places. He's wearing a yellow garment, shining garment. So all the description of Krishna was given. So this way we can also be acquainted with the transcendental form of the Lord. And then Prabhupada says with the attributes of the Lord, with the qualities, with the wonderful qualities of the Lord, and then with the Leela, Nam, Rupa, Guna, Leela. This way, our devotional service begins, continues, and ends with the chanting of the holy name. One line Prabhupada says here very interestingly, this means that hearing from the authorities is the first essential. This means that hearing from the authorities is the first essential, very important. We have to hear from the authorities, and we are very fortunate to be in the parampara. We have our parampara, we have those who are initiated, we have our own gurus. Those who are not yet initiated will have their gurus in the future. Our Param Guru is Prabhupada, and then as per the list of 32 at the end of introduction of Bhagavad Gita, you have all the way the parampara up to Krishna. When we get initiated, we come in the Guru parampara. And then as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, we ourselves can become a guru by giving Krishna to others. And then fall in the line. We are not, fall in the line is not the right phrase, of course. We join the queue and become recipients of the mercy of the entire Guru Parampara. The flip side is that if we don't hear from the authorities, then we will get deviated very easily, as happened in the beginning days when Srila Prabhupada took the Western devotees to India. When the Western devotees went to India, they were again enamored by the Indian culture and the spirituality there, but they could not distinguish between who's genuine, who's not genuine. And Prabhupada had warned them. He was constantly telling them, just hear from the authority, just hear from us. Don't go out and hear from one and all. But there were some devotees, they will go to Radha Kund and this place and that place and hear from this Babaji and that Babaji. And one time, one devotee comes back and he asked Prabhupada, what is my eternal Swarup, my Siddha Swarup in Golok Vrindavan? Prabhupada says, when the time comes, you will know about it. You are not ready for that. But this devotee, because he was hearing from others who were just sort of sahajiyas, who were not qualified, but they were discussing all the intimate pastimes of Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, some Babaji told him that you are actually a peacock in the Golok Vrindavan Dham. And that devotee, in the evening, he started, acting as a peacock, making peacock sounds in the arti. Then even in the night, early in the morning, he'll start making sounds of peacock and all that. And after some time, the devotees realize that he's been hearing from someone else, and then he's been influenced, and after some time, that devotee left. He left the movement. So this way we can see Prabhupada was very protective of all his devotees. And that's why it said that hearing from the authorities is the first essential. When we become adults, we don't really want to listen to anyone else. But if we apply the same thing in our family life, when our children are coming to teenage years, just, after 11, 12, when they gain some understanding, we want them to be very careful in choosing their friends, in choosing their associates. Same way, Prabhupada was very careful in advising the devotees that choose your authorities very carefully. We don't want our children to go into some bad association. I can tell you honestly, when we were raising two daughters here, one of the prime things in my mind, of course I never revealed this to anyone, but one of the prime things in my mind was that at least the girls should be away from the drugs and alcohol. If that happens, my life will be successful. I will consider my life successful. The society is so much degraded here that even for family like ourselves, who are conservative family, who are following all the regulatory principles, who are having a good morning program in the house, there's always a constant fear in the back of our minds that yes, our children should not be anywhere close to alcohol and drugs. Anything else, fine. When we have a good morning program in the house, they'll go and they'll come back. And that's what Prabhupada says. That this means that hearing from the authorities is the first essential. And then Prabhupada again repeats that when we start hearing the names properly, when we start chanting properly, then we can understand Krishna's glories. Then we can understand the spiritual life. We can understand his Nama, Rupa, Gun, and Leela. There's one wonderful pastime where, actually I want to find that pastime. I'd read many, many years ago in a Back to Godhead magazine, and somehow I can't find it. I think it was in Hyderabad, if I'm not mistaken. There was some, little dispute simmering between Giriraj Maharaj. At that time, I think it was Giriraj Prabhu and Tejas Prabhu. So these two devotees were there in Hyderabad serving Srila Prabhupada together. There's some dispute simmering between them. And somehow or the other, Giriraj Maharaj, he decided that I want to go to Prabhupada and tell him that because, of this situation, can I be sent somewhere else? And Tejas Prabhu also, at the same time, he was having the same thoughts in his mind. Both of them, they entered Prabhupada's room thinking that they will speak to Prabhupada. And they didn't know that the other one is going. So unbeknown to each other, they entered Prabhupada's room thinking that, okay, I will request Prabhupada to send me somewhere else because, of this tension here. And I think this article was written by Tejas Prabhu. And Tejas Prabhu describes, I think it is also in Prabhupada Lilamrita, but I'm not very sure. Please don't quote me on that. So when they entered, they saw Srila Prabhupada chanting very, very meditatively, very deeply, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And they also describe in that article that, there was this little soft morning sun, coming and, it was just brightening the room, lightening the room, and some of the rays were falling on Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada was glowing. He was literally glowing. And when they saw Prabhupada like this, chanting the holy name, their heart just melted. And they said, we cannot disturb Prabhupada like this. Somehow we have to work together and just, not even disturb Prabhupada by these small things. So this way, when our chanting is going on nicely, when even a pure devotee like Prabhupada is chanting nicely, this is the effect which has on people's hearts. This way Prabhupada says, yes, when we follow the authorities, Prabhupada says here, according to Sri Shukadeva Goswami, this way of attaining success is an established fact. It's an established fact. And why does he say it's an established fact? Because it's concluded not only by Shukadeva Goswami, but by all other previous acharyas. And then Prabhupada emphatically says here, therefore there is no need of further evidence. We need not doubt, we need not ask for any other explanation. This verse just tells us everything. That follow in the footsteps of authorities, chant the holy name, go deeper into your relationship with Krishna, and Nama, Rupa, Gun, and Leela will be revealed when Krishna wants it to be revealed. And then Prabhupada says this process is applicable for one and all, not only for progressive students in different departments of ideological success, but also those who have achieved success in any field, whether you are a karmi, a yogi, or a devotee. So chanting is the beginning, the middle, and the end of our devotional life. But again, it all depends on the quality of the chanting. So when we begin our chanting, yes, in the beginning it might be okay. We might be dragging ourselves, then it might look like some endeavor. But once we constantly chant, once we associate with devotees, once we get the taste, it just, you cannot stop. And then the actual relish, the actual bliss of Krishna consciousness, you can taste. And when you taste this bliss, putting all these efforts to put up big festivals, it just becomes very easy. It just becomes like a breeze, just becomes a piece of cake by the mercy of the holy name, by the mercy of authorities like Vaishnava Shrestha Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Grantaraj Srimad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone has any questions or comments, reflections? Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. Thank you.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you for attending also. Very much appreciated.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
They say a speaker is, if the speaker is not there, you can replace the speaker. But if the audience is not there, who will the speaker speak to? So both are important, the hearer and the listener. Sorry, the speaker and the hearer. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for this beautiful class. My ears have been blessed this morning. Thank you so much.
Please bless your heart also, Mataji.
I will. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Have a nice, wonderful day.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful inspiration. I'd just like to reflect on the offering of Bhimsen Prabhu. You know how he mentioned that he would love to have his deities at Bevin Temple 7 days a week. And, you know, many devotees I know are praying to Krishna and Srimati Radharani and Srila Prabhupada to make this happen. So, you know, collectively, if we all have prayers that this can happen and have this vision on how we can actually individually serve, and those individual efforts, as you already mentioned, collectively will make the whole thing purna and complete. So this will form a basis for a nice community where everyone, children, including adults, I mean, we're not getting any younger, and a perfect varnashrama system where elderly are looked after by young adults and children are looked after by the elderly, giving them the nice culture can be established. And this will really be a fulfillment of Srila Prabhupada's desire to have a nice varnashrama system where it's a truly community-centered, harmonious coexistence of everyone directed towards spiritual life and nourishing their bhakti with high standard of moral values. And thank you so much, you know, for inspiring everyone to this end. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. I actually forgot to thank our very dear Vishwanath Prabhu. Vishwanath Prabhu, even at this age with, you know, some probably health challenges, but he comes regularly and he does the service, which is very, very important for all of us. So Vishwanath Prabhu, thank you very much for that also. We very much appreciate what you're doing, both in the beginning by chopping vegetables and at the end by taking care of the waste of the, the festival. Hare Krishna. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. May you all have a wonderful day. And tomorrow, 6:30, Krishna willing, we'll join again to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely day.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.